Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, I am bringing you guys my top 12 Dynasty ranked quarterbacks for the 2021 fantasy football season. Inside of this video, I'm going to be talking about all top 12 of these quarterbacks and talking about why I have them ranked inside of each spot. Obviously, Dynasty a bit different to redraft because I would not be drafting some of these guys as high as I would on here due to their age. Obviously, some guys are older and they're going to be really good next year, but you don't really know their kind of output for a couple of years from now. Maybe they'll be retired, so that's why they're not inside of the top 12. So before we get into it, I'd like to ask if that at any point inside this video, you end up having a great time, you end up enjoying, you end up chuckling, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below because not only is it free, I put out content every single day to help you guys win your 2021 Fantasy Football Championship. I post all types of content to help you guys have a great time in the fantasy football or the NFL offseason, I should say, so that you're ready to roll for your 2021 fantasy football drafts, both in Dynasty as well as in redraft. So let's get into it. Coming in at number 1, we have Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, going to be 26 years old a couple of weeks into the 2021 NFL season. Obviously, this is a no-brainer. Patrick Mahomes is young on a very good team with a very good coach. That's the trifecta, the W of things that you want for your quarterback. You want them to be on a good team. You want them to be a good player. You want them to be young, and you want them to have a good head coach. Actually, that's 4 things that you want in a fantasy football quarterback for Dynasty. Ever since this guy was given a chance in 2018, all he has done is wow your eyes. In 2020, he played 15 games, 390 completions on 588 attempts for 4,740 passing yards, 38 touchdowns to just 6 INTs, as well as putting up 308 rushing yards on the ground for 2 rushing touchdowns. He has scored 2 rushing touchdowns every single year he started in the NFL, so you can just bake that into his upside. He is going to run the ball. While he only finished as quarterback number 4 on the year, his points per game will tell you that he's actually better than the number 1 guy from the end of the year because that guy played in all 16 games. Patrick Mahomes is an unreal talent. Sure, we saw him get pantsed in the Super Bowl, bent over a table, and raw-dogged relentlessly by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Mr. Seven Fingers, Jason Pierre-Paul. But at the end of the day, that does not matter. During the regular season, this team is going to dominate defenses week in and week out. I don't have too much to say about Patrick Mahomes because this is really just a no-brainer, and I don't want to waste your guys' time talking 20 minutes, getting on my knees and telling you guys why Patrick Mahomes is the greatest fucking quarterback of all time or why he is so good. So we're going to move on to the second guy, Josh Allen, the Stallion, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, finished on the season as quarterback numero 1. In 2020, he played in 16 games, starting 15 because he ended up getting pulled in that one game up against the Dolphins. Kind of played in that game. I think that's the game that they would not consider to be a start. 396 passing completions for 572 attempts, 69.2 passing completion ratio, which is very nice. 4,544 passing yards, 37 passing touchdowns, and 10 INTs for 400, and as well as 421 rushing yards for 8 rushing touchdowns, 24.7 points per game for Mr. Josh Allen. Now, I said Patrick Mahomes has that nice baked-in rushing ability. Josh Allen takes that ability and smashes it into the ground like he's fucking Hulk, all right? This man has scored 8+ rushing touchdowns in his first 3 seasons in the NFL. 8, 9, and 8 in the first 3 years he started, and when he scored 8 the first time, his rookie season, he only played in 11 games. So Josh Allen is both a quarterback and a running back built into one. Josh Allen is going to air the ball out with the best of them. A lot of people were knocking Josh Allen down. Oh, Josh Allen is not accurate. Josh Allen is not this. Josh Allen is not that. He completely switched his game up. He was good in fantasy last season. Well, I guess 2 seasons ago, 2019, he was good. But this year, 2019 to 2020, the leap was unreal based on an accuracy standpoint. Okay? He went from a 58 completion percentage quarterback to 69%. And if you compare it to his rookie season, he went from 52.8 to 69.2. Josh Allen is so much better than he was originally due to coaching. Josh Allen also in a perfect scenario, just like with Patrick Mahomes. Good coaching, good team around him, and he's young. 24 years old, going to be 25 in a couple of months in May. He was born May 21st. My birthday is May 26th, in case you want to save the date and send me some cake. Josh Allen has been unreal. Another case of a no-brainer top 2 quarterback, but maybe not a no-brainer to everyone else, because I've seen Josh Allen as low as 5 on some rankings, and I got him as quarterback 2. I really think that Josh Allen is exactly what we saw this year and has the potential to get even better. And I'm not saying he's going to complete 70% of his passes or something, but what I'm saying is this offense has the ability to get even better. What if they bring in another receiver in the draft? What if they add a legitimate running back to their team? Now, you might think, hey, Nick, that will hurt Josh Allen because they'll be running the ball a little bit more. But it's actually better because they will fear the running back, because when you hand it to Devin Singletary, it is like handing it to a guy that has no idea how to get over 3 yards per carry. So it will actually help out Josh Allen a whole lot. At number 3 in my rankings, I got Kyler Murray, Mr. 5'7", out of the Carolina Cardinals, I almost said the Arizona Cardinals quarterback. Now, Kyler Murray, Mr. 5'6", can't see over the offensive line, but it doesn't matter. Finished as quarterback 2 on the year. 2019 in his rookie season, this guy was great. He did not have the wide receiver that he had this year, though. In 2020, the addition of DeAndre Hopkins proved to be amazing for Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray, just like Josh Allen, his bread and butter is rushing. Kyler Murray, 133 rushes for 819 rushing yards and 11 rushing touchdowns on the season. The season prior, in his rookie season, only 93 rushes for 544 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. While that's still good, I talked about this a lot in last offseason, that I thought Kyler Murray started to finally use his legs at the end of the 2019 season, and I thought we were going to see it a lot more in 2020, and that's exactly what we saw. And I think it's safe to say he's going to rush for at least 600 yards next season and at least 6-7 touchdowns, as long as the guy is able to stay healthy. Like I said earlier, DeAndre Hopkins was a huge part of this man taking the next step. It's also the second year in the NFL, which is going to make you take a next step. And another step that I think may go forward next season is having a legitimate off season, having OTAs, having all these things are going to make Kyler Murray even better. 375 completions on 558 attempts in 16 games for 3,971 passing yards. He threw for 26 touchdowns and just 12 INTs in his sophomore season in the NFL. Just like the argument for the first 3 guys, or the first 2 guys with Kyler Murray, they're all young. Kyler's going to be 24 at the beginning of next season, so all 3 of these guys going to be in the NFL for a whole long time. And you can honestly argue Josh Allen and Kyler Murray switching from the 2 to 3 spot where you prefer, but I personally think these guys are the staple inside of the top 3 at the quarterback position. At number 4, we kind of have a wild card, because I saw a lot of people really on favor of Desean Watson being the number 4 guy, but with my unknowingness right now to know where Desean Watson is going to be playing in 2021, I would rather kind of take the chance that maybe he goes somewhere bad and doesn't end up in that right spot, to where I would draft Dak Prescott over my 4th ranked Dynasty quarterback. I will be updating this probably after the NFL draft, so maybe these guys will move slightly, but Dak seems to be a Cowboy, at least for next year and potentially for the future. Now, the biggest issue with Dak is nothing to deal with him. It's the fact that Jerry Jones won't take out his fucking wallet to give this guy the money that he deserves. They may end up franchise tagging him, and just so you guys know, if they franchise tag Dak Prescott, he's going to take his Campbell's soup money and head all the way to New England or something and just be gone, because Dak does not deserve to be fucking franchise tagged and like tickling his balls, pretty much, is what the Cowboys are doing. They need to sign this man, but they still, for some reason, have not done it. Now, Dak last year hurts his ankle. He's on the IR. Misses a bunch of games. Only plays 5 games, starts for 151 completions on 222 attempts, 68 completion percentage, 1,856 passing yards, 9 passing touchdowns, and 4 INTs. He had 18 rushes for 93 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, but This guy has the most points per game than anyone ahead of him. 26.9 PPR, not PPR points per game, 4 point per passing touchdown points per game. Dak Prescott was on one early on in the season. Now, I don't expect the Cowboys to just not draft defense like they did in last draft. I expect them to bolster this defense, which will lessen the load on Dakota Prescott. But at the end of the day, this guy's numbers were unreal last season. And even if you trickle him back down to what he had in 2019 with 21.1 points per game, I still love Dak Prescott. This Dallas Cowboys offense is ferocious. The offensive line was not as good as in the past, but they still have CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, they have Amari Cooper, they have Dak, and they probably could bring in a tight end, but they have Blake Jarwin. I mean, they have a very good offense plus Zeke. I mean, this is just the recipe for success for a quarterback, and Dak is able to get a couple of rushing yards every single year and scoring a couple of touchdowns. So I really do like Dak a lot going into next season, as long as he is able to kind of rehabilitate himself correctly coming off of the injury. Obviously, it is difficult to draft these guys coming off the injuries, especially in Dynasty, because you might be drafting Dak a couple of months from now, and you don't necessarily know how good he is doing, because when it comes to these injuries, we know a lot more come June, July, August, and a lot of Dynasty drafts happen right after the draft in April, so you may not necessarily know exactly the health of Dak Prescott, but I'm going to assume these are NFL doctors. Dak will be fucking fine, and my quarterback 4 on the year, for at least right now, based on my rankings. So let me know down below in the comment section where you guys have Dak ranked inside of your Dynasty quarterback rankings. While you're down there, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. At number 5, we have the guy I talked about earlier, Desean Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans. Maybe not. I mean, it's hard to know where Deshaun's going to play in 2021. There's obviously the Jets, the Dolphins, there's the Niners, there's that, there's literally, he could go anywhere, and it wouldn't surprise me. But we don't know yet. So, under the assumption right now is you're just drafting him on the fact that he's fucking Deshaun Watson. You're not drafting him because he's the Texans quarterback. You're not drafting him because he's the Jets quarterback. You're drafting him because he is Deshaun Watson. The guy who was on a complete and utter dumpster fire team that shipped off his fucking number 1 wide receiver, one of the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, and he's still 8. Watson, without DeAndre Hopkins, put up his most points per game in his career in fantasy, aside from his rookie campaign, with 23.1 points per game. In 16 games, this motherfucker almost put up 5,000 yards, 4,823 passing yards on 382 completions. He threw for 33 touchdowns and just 7 INTs, as well as rushing the ball for 444 rushing yards, lucky number, for 3 rushing touchdowns. This man did this with the local grocery men fucking playing wide receiver for him, with his offensive line being folded like a table on a game in, game out basis, with his coach getting fired because the coach is also the owner who ran this team into decimation to where Deshaun Watson wants to leave. I don't think he'll be a Houston Texan. I don't know where he's going to play, but frankly, if I left him outside of this top 5, the comment section would be on fire. It would implode like this Houston Texans organization. I love talking about Deshaun Watson because this guy has been royally fucked by a team. Completely. They should have beaten the Chiefs last year in the playoffs. They were up by 7 million, or 2019. They were up by 7 million, but Bill O'Brien's dumbass does not know how to coach. Deshaun Watson has been screwed by that idiot multiple times. Now he's fucking leaving. He's like the opposite of Jordan Belfort. You know, when he grabs the mic, he's like, I'm not fucking leaving. In Wolf of Wall Street, Deshaun Watson is fucking leaving, and he is going to go to a better spot. Even if he's on the Jets, I hate the Jets. I'm a Dolphins fan. I got the Dolphins logo in the background. I got Uncle Dan Marino on the wall. It's probably better than the Texans because at least they have wide receivers there. Maybe the coach they brought in is a genius. Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback, 25 years old, going to be 26 during the 2021 NFL season. These guys are all young, and I don't want to die young like Post Malone says. So draft Deshaun Watson as a top 5 quarterback. To be honest with you guys, it's so hard to rank these top 5 guys because to me, Mahomes is just the number 1 guy because he's just so consistent. But the other 5 through 2, literally, Deshaun could be the number 2 guy. I wouldn't care. They're just so close to me. And they're pretty much all very close inside the top 12 until after the next guy here, Justin Herbert, the pervert of the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I bit my tongue on Justin Herbert. I told everyone that this Justin Herbert man, Herbert the pervert, is going to stink. Not actually that he was going to stink, just that he wasn't going to be that great. And I was wrong. Everyone was wrong. Literally everyone. No one in their right mind, most people, said this guy out of Oregon is not going to be very good. This guy is a project quarterback. It's going to take a couple of years to see what we get out of Justin Herbert. And this man, after Tyrod Taylor gets stabbed by his doctor in the lung, Justin Herbert comes in against the Kansas City Chiefs and almost beats them. Okay? This man is 22 years old, going to be 23 during next season. This man has a dumbass head coach who is now gone. And he was still playing great. 15 games, obviously missed that first game because Tyrod was playing. Then Tyrod gets shot in the heart, and it's too late, giving Love a bad name, I believe the lyrics are to that. 396 completions on 595 attempts, 666 percentage on the completion. So that does not sound very good. Maybe he's Joe Namath-esque, going to do a deal with the devil. 4,336 passing yards for 31 passing touchdowns and 10 INTs. 55 rushes for 5 rushing touchdowns and 234 rushing yards for 22.2 points per game. When you're investing in Justin Herbert, just like with these other guys, you're investing in a young man, and Justin Herbert's going to get better. Not even that he has to get better, because if he plays exactly the same as he did last year, and they got rid of one of the dumbest head coaches you've ever seen in Anthony Lynn, a guy who can't control the clock, a guy who I honestly don't even know how he was employed for that long by the team. He's gone. Now it's Herbert and friends. Doesn't matter who the head coach is. Literally doesn't matter. As long as the guy has just slightly smarter than Anthony Lynn, Justin Herbert may smash into the moon. Quarterback 10 on last year. But man, oh man, I am hyped up for Mr. Herbert the pervert as a top 6 quarterback. At number 7, we have fellow rookie quarterback Joseph Burrow out of LSU. Now, Joe Burrow had a sad ending to his season. A couple of weeks in, 10 games in. The team is sucking ass. Joe Burrow's really trying to carry, and then he ends up tearing his ACL. So you had to feel bad for Burrow, right? He's put behind an offensive line that's as open as the local whore's fucking legs. They're just letting everyone in. It's a turnstile at an offensive line. And Joe Burrow still eating in these games, still playing quite well. In 10 games, 264 completions, 404 attempts for 2,688 passing yards, 13 tugs, and just 5 INTs, as well as 142 rushing yards for 3 rushing touchdowns, 17.4 points per game for Uncle Joey B. Joe Burrow, very young as well, slightly older than Herbert, going to be 24 all throughout next season, but that's fine because he's young enough. Finishes quarterback 25, not the greatest, but again, only played in 10 games. He was very good on a team that looks to continue to get better. As long as the offensive line can protect Joe Burrow, he has the weapons around him to take down the entire fucking military. This motherfucker has T. Higgins, Tyler, yeah, Boyd. They may bring in Jamar Chase. They may bring in Kyle Pitts in the draft. They may bring in another pass catcher. He has Joe Mixon. If the offensive line is able to hold the wall, Joe Burrow is going to be excellent in 2021. And based upon what we saw out of college, this seems like a no-brainer top 10 quarterback. At number 8, we have a man who has never even played an NFL snap. A man who has never even been drafted yet. Trevor, touchdown Jesus, Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson is an unreal talent. Everyone knows it. The guy ended up having surgery on his left shoulder, which is not his throwing arm, so it should not really matter at all when it comes to evaluating the guy. He should be a Jacksonville Jaguar. Hopefully they figure it out. I mean, Lawrence, he is by many considered to be the best prospect coming into the NFL since Andrew Luck. While Andrew Luck hit us with the peace sign like Tyreek Hill and retired early, that does not stop us from understanding how good he was. and how good of a prospect Trevor Lawrence is. 259 completions on 397 attempts in 2018 for 3,280 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, 4 INTs. 2019, 3,665 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 INTs. And then last year, playing in less games, obviously, because he ended up getting hurt, and the COVID season, 69.2 completion percentage, very nice. 24 passing touchdowns and 5 INTs with a 155 plus rating, quarterback rating that is, every single year of his career. This guy has won national championships. This guy is very good at throwing the football and should be good in the NFL. So you take him as a top 10 quarterback, he will probably go even higher. People will probably draft him as a top 5 guy, but as a rule of thumb, I want to draft a guy I've fucking seen, okay? There's a chance that Trevor Lawrence completely sucks. But there's no chance that unless Dak breaks his fucking leg again, that he's going to suck magically in 2 years. That's just how I feel about it. At number 9, we have Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was potentially a number 1 quarterback coming off the board last season in fantasy football. Not a number 1, the numero uno guy coming off the board. Then he fucking fell off a cliff. Quarterback 9 finishing off on the season this year. Now, if I'm being honest with you, Lamar's going to be fine, right? Because he has so much rushing upside. The issue is that this motherfucker has no wide receivers around him. It doesn't seem like they want to help him. It just seems like they want to run the ball, okay? 242 completions on 376 attempts. I'm telling you, like 30 of those attempts that were just completely dropped. Completely dropped. Like, right in the breadbasket, dropped. And I was not interpreting that a while ago until I watched this video. Someone posted on Twitter where it's like, it's just unbelievable. It's like what happened to Tua last season where the wide receivers are just handless or something. They just lube up before the game. They don't put sticky shit on their hands to catch the ball. They just lube it up and it just flies through their hands. 2,700 passing yards. He had 26 passing touchdowns to 9 INTs and over 1,000 rushing yards 2 years in a row and 7 touchdowns 2 years in a row. 22.2 points per game for Lamar Jackson. Now, understandably, defense are going to be able to figure out what Lamar Jackson does, and that is why he wasn't as good. But he's still going to be fine. He's still going to be a top 10 quarterback, so don't overthink it. Understandably, he did have a down year compared to the last season, but he should still be fine. At number 10, we have Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks right now. Now, allegedly, Russell Wilson, not allegedly, I mean, he just went out and said, he's like, I'm fucking tired of getting sacked. I'm tired of getting put on my ass. We need more offensive linemen that are actually good. We need this, we need that. Maybe I want out. Maybe I want to leave Seattle. That's what he's saying. Maybe. I don't know. I think he's going to be a Seattle Seahawk, but again, you just never know in the NFL. It's fucking crazy. Quarterback 6 on the year, 2 completely different seasons for Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. First 8 games, this guy is bending the league over. Actually, first 8 games up to week 9. Just kidding. Yeah, up to week 9 because they had a bye, week 6. 20 plus points per game. Then he drops 9, week 10 against the Rams. Then 20 against the Cardinals, week 11. Then week 12 against Philly, 14. Then 15 against the Giants. Only 22 against the Jets. 12, 19, 18. So he went from being really on top, dropping like 35 points, 30 points, 26 points, to really falling off. So what the fuck happened? I don't know. I really don't understand this team. Russ is getting old, so that's why he's kind of down here at 10. But I wouldn't judge you if you had him as like a top 5 quarterback because that's just how good Russell Wilson is. And I really don't think he's going to be moving teams, but I just can't trust fucking Uncle Pete Carroll chewing his gum on the sideline because he wants to establish the run. This motherfucker is seeing Russell Wilson throw 6,000 yards a game, and at the end of the season, this guy has the balls to say, we need to establish the run better. What the fuck is wrong with you, Pete Carroll? Let Russ cook. At number 11, we have Mr. Discount Double Check, Mr. State Farm. Ron Rodgers. Get that Rodgers rate. Just kidding, they do not sponsor me. But you want to know who does? Me. Hit that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. Mr. Ron Rodgers, quarterback 2 on the year. Down here at 11, because he's getting up there in age. 37 years young for Mr. Ron Rodgers. This guy's old as fuck. Doesn't matter, though. Still a beast. Quarterback 3 on the year. I mean, I thought it seemed like he was done. Right? I really did. I was like, man, Rodgers isn't going to be all that good. We're just buying in on this hype, and then the guy just does it again. 23 points per game. 16 games. Just quick 4,300 yards. 48 touchdowns. 5 INTs. MVP season. Nothing out of the ordinary for Aaron Rodgers. He's down here at 11 because he's old. We're talking redraft. This guy's a top 4 quarterback. That's how good he is. He's going to be good again. They drafted Jordan Love, and that's what scared me. I was like, man, he might be done. They're looking to move on to Love, and then the guy just fucking rips the league's asshole open. He would have potentially won the fucking Super Bowl. Won the Super Bowl, the Lombardi Trophy that Tom Brady was throwing around there on the nice bay. But his head coach didn't believe in him. Didn't let him go for it on 4th down. Let's kick the field goal and we lose the game. Makes no sense. This man has also thrown in even 4,000 fantasy points on his career. 4,000 total, which is crazy because it's not like 4,000.76. It's just 4,000. Very impressive for Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And at number 12, shout out to Aaron Rodgers, who is number 12. We have Matty Snapback Matthew Stafford hopping on a plane from Detroit to Los Angeles to join the Rams. Matthew Stafford, whose birthday was a couple of days ago, turned 33, much younger than you would think. This guy has been in the worst situation ever. Actually, he's way more misused than Desean Watson. Matthew Stafford has been fucked. I feel bad for the guy. Like, he's literally a walking 4,000 yards. Literally. From 2012 to 2018, this man threw for 4,000 yards every single time except for in 2018. Had 5,000 yards once, should have had 5,000 yards twice in a row. Would have had it in 2019 if he didn't get hurt. And this is on Detroit. Now he's going to LA with a brainiac head coach with receivers that are really good. Seems like a no-brainer to be a top 12 quarterback, and that's closing out on the top 12 quarterbacks for Dynasty in Fantasy Football 2021. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the description. Or not in the description. In the description, you can find a bunch of links. Follow me on fucking Twitter. Yeah. Hope you guys had a great day. Hit that subscribe button down below. I love you guys all. And we'll be back again tomorrow with another heater of a video. As always, have a great rest of your guys' day. I love you all. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to my girlfriend, who I don't think will be watching this video, but I love you too. I love everyone. Thank you guys for the support. We're in February, but we're going to punch out content every single day until we blast off into space and hit 100,000 subscribers. Now, it's probably not going to happen this year. Probably not even going to happen next year. So have a great rest of your guys' day. I love you all. Goodbye.